Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. This is Kay back at it with a new video. Today I want to talk about superstar boxer Adrien Broner. Did you see his last fight? It was actually pretty entertaining. He fought Bill Hutchinson, and I was really impressed with Adrien Broner showing in that fight. He really looked pretty good, didn't he? Like he gained a little weight, but other than that, I mean, the hand speed was still there. What do you think of that fight? Do you think Adrien Broner is now ready to take on the big dogs in the welterweight division? Let's talk about it. Adrien Broner is a four-division world champion. We can't take that away from him. And his age is 33. His height is 5 feet, 6 inches. He's got a reach of 69 inches, and his stance is orthodox. Adrien Broner got a record of 33, 4-1, and his four losses came to Marcus Maidana, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, and superstar legendary fighter Manny Pacquiao. Not bad, right? And when he fought Marcus Maidana, however y'all want to say it, because I know I'm going to get some people correcting me. But when he fought Marcus Maidana, when he lost that fight, that was probably one of the most humorous fights that I've seen from Adrien Broner. When he tried to punk Maidana, I don't know if you remember that fight. He came in flashy as always, and he was kind of winning, and he somehow turned Maidana around, and then he did like he screwed him from the back, and that pissed Maidana off. That's when Maidana really turned it up, and Adrien Broner didn't have any answers for this guy. And then even did Adrien Broner like that, like he was screwing him from the back. But that was a really good fight. And then Floyd Mayweather, I guess, went to revenge that loss for Adrien Broner, because at that time they was really tight and cool. Adrien Broner admired Floyd Mayweather. He even tried to have him stacks of cash, not as much as Floyd, but, nevertheless, he admired him, and he was good at marketing himself as well, because Adrien Broner was actually selling out some arenas. So, yeah, and then, he was flashy when he got in there, and so, and he was a good fighter. So, yeah, 4 divisions, how many people can do that, right? So, the fight when he fought Bill Hutchinson, it was a good fight. And then he was doing a lot of body shots. I mean, it was like that's all he was doing. Everything was like a body shot. He would throw a few combinations here and there, but he was throwing a lot of body shots in that fight. And, it really looked like Adrien Broner was going to knock him out a few times, and especially in the later rounds. It looked like he had him almost at the end. He was ready to go, but, Bill Hutchinson, kudos to him. He was able to hold on, and Adrien Broner got the unanimous decision, which is cool, right? And then, he said that Don King is his new promoter, and Don King is going to bring him back to the promised land. Now, Don King, everybody knows Don King. Don King been around for 69 years, and his age is 91, and then King got like a net worth of $150 million. So, King isn't hurting for money. And, again, kudos to Don King, because at 91 years of age, and King actually still looks pretty good for 91. It's slow. You can see the age done caught up with him. But nevertheless, and he's not doing the really big fights like he did in the day. But, hey, for King, that's good, But I don't want to get off track, right? Y'all got me getting off track. So let's talk about Adrien Broner. Is he ready to fight some of the big dogs in the welterweight division like Terrence Bud Crawford, Earl Spence Jr., or the young lions in Adrien Ennis and Virgil Ortiz? Or can he take on superstar boxer Keith One-Time Thurman? Now that one I think would really be an interesting fight. Oh, I left out Udonis Ugas. Um, Out of all the people I just named, I think Keith Thurman would probably be the most interesting fight. Now, granted, Keith Thurman is an unbelievable fighter. I done did a couple of videos on Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, I always thought Keith Thurman was the total package. He pissed off Earl Spence when he didn't fight Spence when Spence was coming up. But other than that, I always like me some Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman got good, foot movement, great combinations. He's a showman, just like Adrien Broner. So that would be an interesting fight. I want to go out on the ledge and say if that fight took place, I would give Keith Thurman the slight edge. But or the edge in general, because I think Keith Thurman is probably the better fighter. But again, not taking anything from Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner to me was one of my favorites. It still is. And when he fought Bill Hutchinson, he really looked impressive in there. He had power. And that's what I always kind of sort of question about Adrien Broner was his power. But he looked good in there. He won by unanimous decision. I think that he almost knocked Bill Hutchinson out. Can he take on the big dogs? I want to say at this stage of his career, no. Even though he looked good, I mean, he could do the Floyd Mayweather number, you don't have to fight the tough guys. You already did that. But can he beat a Terrence Bud Crawford? No. It would be an interesting fight if he fought Adrien Ennis, because that would tell me a lot about Adrien Ennis, because, much of Adrien Ennis is flashy, great hand speed, great foot movement. I still haven't seen him fight anyone, of any significance. And same as Virgil Ortiz. These guys, they've been waiting forever because it seemed like Earl Spence, Spence said he going to go up to junior middleweight. And Crawford says that if he beats Spence, he want to take on Jermell Charlo, which would really be, that would be a great fight. Because Jermell Charlo, I like me some Jermell Charlo too. So, all of these would be great fights, right? But, and I'm going to do a video on Adrien Ennis and Virgil Ortiz because, these boxers aren't going anywhere anytime soon, right? It used to be when you got in your 30s, it was time to throw in a towel. But these guys are like, what is... Crawford. Crawford is what, 35, and what is Spence, 34? I don't have the ages in front of me, but you get what I'm saying, right? So these guys have to wait longer just to get their turn, and eventually they're gonna get their turn because especially if Spence and Crawford move up to junior middleweight. And then I think Jermell Charlo is going to move up to middleweight. So, and then I think Jermall Charlo is going to move up to super middleweight. So it's interesting to see how all this stuff plays out. But so I'm just curious on can Adrien Broner come back and, get to the top of the mountain again. Because Adrien Broner, he made a lot of money in the fight business. And, he had his troubles, and I'm not going to get into that. That's for another YouTuber or that's for another day, but it's not for me. And, Yeah, so I'm just curious. Kudos to Adrien Broner. Great fight. He looked it good. Wishing him the best. I hope to see him again, and I'm sure I will. Boxing's never go anywhere. And then, in my next video, I'm going to try to do that fight that Floyd Mayweather had with John Gotti the third and the brawl, and it was a mess. It was a mess at the end. But we'll get into that. Again, this is Kate back at it with a new video. Press like if you like my video. And please subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is Adrien Broner ready for the big dogs again? Let's talk about it. Take care, guys.